Hi. Um, Good morning. I wanted to just take a moment to share with you some of how I'm coping with what happened in Parkland High School yesterday. I was starting, sorry, I'm mumbling. See, this is what happens. So I'm starting to prepare myself for my day. So when I'm going to be seeing clients, I like to just stop and kind of check out what's going on with me. And I've been pretty much avoiding my feelings. I've watched the news last night. I watched the news today. I've been listening to the interviews and watching the images. And what I've realized is that I'm a bit triggered. I'm triggered because I've had some experiences in the past. I worked at a couple of school shootings here in San Diego. I worked at the Santana shooting and then again at the Granite Hills shooting. I worked on the campus when kids were coming back. I've also worked with family and students who went to the campus, experienced those events. And I've also I've had the honor of many people sharing with me their stories over the years of violence and of lost children. And I start to feel it. And there's nothing unusual about that because it takes me to some places of great sadness and a lot of pain. So when I become aware of it, I tap. And that's what I wanted to share with you is, so as I think about those images and interviews that I've heard from the children and the families, and I feel that pain, that upset, I can feel it in my body. I feel it like tears are about to push out. I feel tension here. And on a 0 to 10 scale, I'm probably put myself at about a 7, which is not a place I can work well with other people because I'm caught up in what's going on with me. So I'm going to tap, and I invite all of you who might be feeling some of the pain, the terror, the horror, the just sadness, to tap along with me. And we're just going to use the basic crisis pattern. So just notice what you're feeling and tap with me on the side of your hand. Tap under your nose. Tap on the beginning of your eyebrow. Tap under your eye. Tap under your arm. Tap under your collarbone. Tap on the index finger. Tap under your collarbone. Tap on your tiny finger. Tap under the collarbone. Now we do the 9 gamut series, tapping on the gamut spot, right there, the back of the hand. You're going to tap there, and you're going to do 9 things. Close your eyes for a moment. Open your eyes. Look down left. Look down right. Which way doesn't matter first. Whirl your eyes one way in one direction. Keep tapping. Whirl them the other way in the other direction. Now hum. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. Hum again. Then we're going to tap on the side of the hand. Then under the nose. Beginning of the eyebrow. Under the eye. Under the arm. Under the collarbone. Index finger. Under the collarbone. Tiny finger. Under the collarbone. I definitely feel a shift for me. Now, I feel things changing in my body. I don't feel so overwhelmed. I'm not triggered. I have memories, lots of memories of these events and what it's like to experience things with people. But I'm not in that moment starting to feel like I'm going to cry or feeling like I just want to run out of the room or jump out of my skin or, get caught up in somebody else's problem in a way to avoid my own sensations, thoughts, being in the moment. The problem is that doesn't make me a very good therapist when I'm just doing it to avoid my own stuff. So it's important that if you start to feel triggered, if you start to be reminded of events in the past by what's going on in front of you, that you can remember to tap and that comes back down. And then you calm the bottom half of your brain, you down-regulate what's happening in your body, and then you can begin to think some more. So I begin to think to myself, okay, what else can I do to help people besides telling them to tap? Well, there's lots of good information if you or your family have been affected by this that's going to be available. If you're in that community right now, if you reach out to the Red Cross, if you reach out to the DA's office, to the Victim Witness Program, if you reach out to any crisis intervention line in that community, they're going to have lots of suggestions about ways that you can deal with this personally and the ways that you can help your children deal with it. And I think it's important that we be able to talk about these things. Being free means to me that you feel what you feel and you give expression to it. Your children need to feel what they feel and give expression to it. They need to think what they think and give expression to it and engage with you in an honest conversation about what you can control in your life and what you can't, and how you're going to be there for them. It's going to be an age-appropriate discussion, and you're going to say different things depending on how old they are and what they're ready to hear at that moment. But reminding them that when they start to feel overwhelmed, just a tap. Doesn't change reality, but it helps bring down that affect that your body is in this fight or flight, this freeze, or this place where you can't think because it's too life and death. Tapping will help them do that. So you can help them do that. And I think it's an important thing to keep in mind that when you're emotionally overwhelmed because you've been triggered into past events or there's too much going on right now, then you're not going to think very clearly, and you're not going to be able to plan and to behave in a way that's going to be productive and helpful to you and the people you love. So just a thought. Now, remember, you can go to my website, www.rlbray.com, and click on the button that says Try TFT. It'll take you through the tapping that we just did here. You don't have to memorize anything. You can also go to my website. I have a book on recovery from traumatic stress. I have some other aids. I have an online training that's available for people who want to really learn about this and how to help. And so I encourage you to tap so that you're not so overwhelmed, and that you can begin to think about how to help yourself and those that you love at a very difficult time. So I'm going to suggest that we tap once more. Just notice what you feel in your body, and then tap with me. Now you can rate it on that 0 to 10 scale. I'm probably down to about a 2, maybe a 3. There might be some other stuff. And then the beginning of the eyebrow, under the eye, under the arm, under the collarbone. Index finger, under the collarbone. Tiny finger, under the collarbone. Tap the back of your hand. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Look down left. Look down right. Roll your eyes around. Back the other way. Hum. Count. 1, 2, 3. Hum again. And we're going to tap again. Side of hand. Under nose. Beginning of eyebrow. Under eye. Under arm. Under collarbone. Index finger. Under collarbone. Little finger. Under collarbone. Now that's the standard crisis intervention tapping pattern that we use. There are many other patterns. If it didn't work for you, don't worry. It just means you needed a different pattern. But this is going to work about 80% to 90% of the time for the kinds of things we're talking about in terms of watching the news or thinking about what's happened to these children and their families. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, and feel free to write me. Go to my website or write me through Facebook if you have questions or if there's something else I can do to help you. Keep a good thought for everybody, especially for those people in Florida. Bye-bye.